Sometimes we're going to be confused. Sometimes we're not going to know what to do. And in those times, we're going to feel like being negative. But how we handle all that is what makes all the difference in our lives and in the future.
Let me warn you that I say what I think, say what I think, say what I think. I'm a complete individualist.
Sometimes we're going to find ourselves in situations that are confusing, unnerving, scary. And the worst of these are going to be when there's something inside of our comfortable bubble. Our home, our job, a relationship, something that's a part of that little thing that lets us know everything's okay at the end of the day. No matter what goes on out here, if this is intact, the world is still okay. And when that gets threatened, boy, those are very, very difficult times. Those are times when negative things inside of us can begin to be fertilized and produce rotten fruit. We lash out at ourselves, lash out at others, question our beliefs, think about quitting. In the worst times of these, people take their own lives or the lives of others. Today, I don't have a lot of answers for you on this, for I find myself in one of those situations, afloat in the sea, seemingly alone in an inflatable raft that's losing air and storm clouds bearing down, and I don't know what to do. It's important in these times that we pay attention minute by minute. This is how we'll learn and gain wisdom, how we'll get stronger for the next time it comes, and how even when times are good, we'll have a deeper understanding and appreciation of those things. I know I certainly do. Yesterday I made the first of the solitude sessions with Kontrast, and it was important for me to do because that's really how I was feeling, just very let down, and the stars and the sun and all the bright things in my life had been clouded over, and although I knew fundamentally I was still the same, I no longer knew what to do with myself. It was a good thing to express some of those things and to work it out, and I was glad to share it with you, and I certainly spent the night with some better perspective, and this morning still getting better. And although I'm here now as confused and scared probably as I've ever been, I know that even if I don't know what to do, I do know to pay attention. And I do know from experience that when things do turn out all right, there's nothing worse than looking back and going, wow, it turned out all right, but it turned out all right in spite of me, because I was negative, I had quit, and it turned out okay. Wish I'd have handled that better, because now I feel sort of embarrassed or down on myself. So it's all about how we handle things minute by minute. And sometimes the hardest thing is, do you stick to your guns? Do you stick to what you really believe in and consequences be damned? Or do you go, whoa, maybe I'm way off here, and maybe I'm clinging to something that's not right? And that's what's so difficult. So much time invested in developing things that you believe in and things that you value, and finding a richness because of them, but then finding a situation like this also because of them. So I hope that this video today just lets you know it's okay to go through those things. It's okay when that stuff comes. If you're going through it right now, well, so am I, and probably hundreds of thousands of other people. And there's a lot of terrible things that have happened in the world, in Paris, and refugees, and outbreak of extremism, and all of that. And those are things that are important to me and should be important to everybody, but it's not fair to say that because of those things, your situation is any diminished or somehow not as important. It is, because you are living those things, and it's important because if we live those things right, we'll be better people on the other side. So today's still rad times, because I define rad times as the best of times and the worst of times, because it's all that big mix that just makes this life so well worth living and can make it very exciting. And I've been stoked and excited through some difficult stuff, and I guess that part of the universe's training camp is I get slammed with some real difficulty, some guttural difficulty, some breaking that security difficulty. And so for me, and maybe for you as well, who knows, I have to make some real decisions about my beliefs and the things that I have spent plenty of time believing when this was intact. Will I still believe those when it's not intact? Have I believed in the right things? So I hope this video finds you well on Saturday. If you're not going through something like this, you probably will at some point, and I hope that you handle it well, and I hope that I was able to help you in some way. So we'll put this in the archives, and a month from now, when amazing things have happened and miracles have been performed, and I've got this great story to tell you about going through the journey the right way and how it will pull you up out of it, at least you'll know that it was real. At least you'll know that I was here. And that's always been something important to me, because so many people that speak on this kind of stuff, it's just, they might tell you how they went through a tough time, but was it true? Or is it just to illustrate where they are? So I like that this exists on this Saturday, very, very difficult day, at the end of a very difficult week, with no idea what the future holds. No idea where I'll be or what I'll be doing, because these moments are going to define that. So that's exciting to me. I have no doubts. I have doubts, but I have faith and a belief that things will work out. So I'm excited in a month from now to be making that video and to be able to have these two together and really show that you really can make it out of some dark times with the right mindset, the right outlook, and by paying attention. And even when we don't know what the right outlook is or know what the right mindset is, we know to pay attention, to control ourselves, to not lash out, to create no harm, and that most likely in our situations, almost all the time, things are going to work out. And when they don't work out, when that bubble is shifted, good things will come of that as well. So guys, no matter what you're going through, have a great Saturday. Enjoy some college football if that's your thing. Enjoy some time outside if that's your thing. Whatever you're into, enjoy it. And if you're going through something and you really just, you can't be around enjoyable things, and we know how that is, then find a place where you can be alone, and find a place where you can sit down the social media and just breathe. Think about good things that have happened. Think about good people that you know. And remember, you're gonna be okay. And it's not worth hurting yourself or other people, whether it's physically or emotionally, just because we're going through these things. All right, guys, so I'll see you guys soon. Maybe even the next video will be a wow, it worked video. But we'll see, it'll come in its own time. In the meantime, have a great weekend, stay positive, love your life, and try to have the raddest times possible. And remember, rad times aren't about smiles and surf and friends and food. Rad times are about times when you're sitting alone going through something, but you're going through it the right way. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.
Let me warn you that I say what I think, say what I think, say what I think. I'm a complete individualist.